Okay, how's everybody doing? I'm just sharing this out a minute, so I'll be with you guys soon. So you probably all know this is an open discussion. Any topic is up for discussion as long as people are respectful and don't spew abuse or anything like that, or anything offensive. They're welcome to come and chat and have people on the panel, people with different beliefs and things. We don't always agree on everything, but it'd be a bit boring if everyone agreed on everything, wouldn't it? You know, because I mean, we're in 2017. Some people still believe the Earth could be flat, but you know, why are people getting so triggered? I mean, just because someone thinks a bit differently and they have a different perspective. To me, kind of, you know, says that, you know, it's the kind of conditioning that if they're so sure it's a globe, then they would be really confident and they would be able to just kind of just be like, yeah, this proves a globe and blah blah blah, and then just like they would never need to worry about, you know, it's like the word that we're gonna somehow convince everyone. If it ain't true, then we're not gonna convince the majority. That ain't gonna happen. But it's turning out, you know, so with all the evidence, all the proof that's come out, that there's no way that we can be on a spinning ball that's the size that they tell us it is. You know, it could be much bigger, and I've contemplated that possibility that could just be much bigger, and they're hiding more land, and it's just a lot bigger than what they tell us. But there'd still be some kind of curvature somewhere. There'd be some way of measuring it. And I could go on for a long time about the different proofs and things. As you know, there's lots of videos out there, but you could just go and look for yourself. Just type in flat Earth, and you'll find all this stuff. But I don't want to talk about it all the time. That's why I have people come on and talk about different topics. Create an open discussion because I want to, you know, kind of want people to bring stuff in to discuss, to try and learn, you know, more than anything. So, you know, the thing that you don't get at school is, you know, where you can just like learn any kind of opposing view or any kind of view that's different from the mainstream, but they'll, you know, make you just learn the one that is, you know, the most accepted. The stuff that they actually teach at school is actually not really, a lot of it's not really relevant to practical our practical kind of, it has no real practical purpose. And that's, if you can think, well, what are they actually doing teaching us this stuff, and you start to realize that they're just prepping people. That's what they're doing. They're just training people up to be work slaves who are just going to be funding these elites. And we don't exactly know who's, you know, right at the top, but I do believe there is, you know, groups of people that are, you know, really, you know, high up that really have all the power, and they're trying the hardest to keep it from you know, everyone else, because if we could take the power back, then their power would just kind of diminish just like instantly, pretty much. So I think it's important to kind of talk about some of these stuff because, like I said, with the flat Earth, it's really important. But if people can't agree on that, then there's other stuff that we can use to kind of help, I suppose, wake people up. But I think people need to wake themselves up. You know, if they want to wake up, then they're going to have to do it themselves. We can give people tools to do that, and kind of, they can say, you know, I can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. And you can, and yeah, that's obviously, you know, a famous saying. It's really is true, you know. It's and we just got to kind of understand that people will come at it, you know, these things in at their own time. So we have to kind of, and they'll obviously, you know, do their own research, do, you know, all these things. They'll do it in their own time. We can't force anything upon people, because I know we all may feel frustrated that people are still asleep to all this that's going on. But we've just got to do what we can to make our lives better and everyone else around us. But we've got to all stick together. None of this division crap. It's all bull, that, isn't it? The division, all the drama and infighting that goes on. It's just, this is the opposite of what we should be doing. We should be trying to unite everyone for the common goal of, say, truth seeking, and, you know, kind of helping everyone else to, you know, wake themselves up, really, and trying us all to get out of this mess, really, that we're in. You can lead a globetrotted to FE, but you can't make him get out of his left brain. Yeah, I don't really use the word globetrotted, but you know, it's I don't think it's really the best word you can use. Anyway, there's 16 likes, 16 watching, and only 1 like. So make sure to like and share if you can. Let's try and, you know, let's get this out there. Cat's Eyes, how you doing? Lyle Isabella, how you doing? Everett Anderson, how you doing? Chris F.E. Jackson, how you doing? Toxicold, how you doing? So yeah, Mass One, how you doing? Adam I, how you doing? Yeah, cheers for that. Because obviously the more people like and they share it, then it affects the algorithms and stuff. But then again, YouTube, they'll do what they want anyway. They'll try and bury if they can. Because we know that we're using their tools. So I say YouTube is a Google corporation. It's bought and paid for by the government. So we need to realise that. I suppose we can use the tools against them, but to me, it's kind of playing a bit of a dangerous game when you're using their tools. They can just easily use it against us. I'm just saying. But whatever. So in case anyone doesn't know, I'm doing a meetup on the 23rd of September. It'll be on a Saturday. So which apparently that's the date when the this star alignment thing's happening. So we'll find out if it actually happens of that. But so I hope you're all doing well. Let me know if you'll be able to make it to that or not. But how you doing, Jovian Edwards? Goldfish Brain, how you doing? So yeah, Jovian, if you'd want to be able to kind of come and join me there, then that might be cool. Jovian, because maybe we could have a meet up, just me and you at some point. Just I don't know, meet up in Burnley or something like that. Because that's sort of between me and you, isn't it? But yeah, if you just want to let me know, private message or Gmail or something like that, then yeah, because I know you said you live up Earby way, so that's up past Colden and towards Yorkshire. But yeah. It's nearly it's nearly 5 o'clock here. Flat Earth after party. How you doing? Bad Christian. How you doing? So yeah, if anyone wants to come and join me, then let me know. I'm just gonna put this over on Dell's to try and get a few of his over. So alright. So what can we talk about? So Club Toids hate me or whatever. I don't know if that's a sock or whatever. Jamie, 2 reality shows in the UK have now had people on discussing flat Earth. Yeah. Apparently the Big Brother, someone was discussing it, but it could have been a controlled thing where they were making it look stupid. We just don't know, do we? But yeah, I think even Globers who think we're stupid for believing this stuff, then they can at least agree that there is some genuine conspiracies out there, that are like real, even if they don't believe in the flat Earth. And we see it as a genuine conspiracy to potentially hide the creator or hide more land or both, possibly. It could be hiding all sorts, free energy. It's just to hide our significance more than anything. I think when people say about the creator, I think that whatever the creator is, I don't know. If they're hiding that, then yeah, that's why no one knows what it is, because they're hiding it. I definitely don't see it as a kind of bearded guy in the sky. I think that's a kind of like a deliberate kind of ridicule, like a sort of straw man attack on. Obviously, you get these religious people, but I'm not religious because I don't, I have no kind of attachment to the Bible or any kind of holy book, Quran, anything like that. But a lot of flat earthers do reference it. A lot of them do reference the Bible and things like that, and the Quran, some people as well, because they state a flat stationary earth in it. But I'm like, well, my common sense experience really kind of tells me it, so I don't need a Bible to tell me that. And maybe these things are for those people that need guidance, like that they're more easily kind of manipulated into things, and kind of they're more easily kind of fall down the wrong path, or that's maybe what it was intended for, but it's not something I really know much about. It's just like, yeah, it's kind of one of those divisive topics when you start talking about creation and religious things, because we just don't really know 100%, and people have these strongly held beliefs, and some of them, it's like they're so dogmatic, but you can't prove it correct and can't prove it wrong either. So a lot of it's subjective experiences, and well, to be honest, you can't really prove anything's objective. In a way you can, but there is obviously some objective, but we don't know how objective our reality really is. We don't know if everyone has the same experience of blue, whatever, and that's kind of when you get into the philosophical kind of realm, where it's like, what is objective? Is anything objective? Is it all subjective? Do we have more senses than what we know about? Because people ask these deep questions because we're not really satisfied with the answer answers that have been given to us, and we're kind of, that it's like you get these scientists and they tell you that it's like they don't know, but then they'll say stuff to you like they know. It's like it's just double speak. It's like they're kind of, it just seems to, like they're contradicting themselves. It's like they kind of, well, this is where we're at, but then they act like they know. It's like you either do or you don't know, and they say, well, yeah, this is where we're, because I think when it was NGT when he was going on about about dark matter, and he was like, yeah, well, this is, it has to exist because this extra gravity is needed. But it's like if you assume that model in the first place, then yeah, you would, and it's such a preposterous theory, because and they're like, oh well, yeah, you can't see wind though. I mean, you can see the effects of it, but you can't see wind. And they come out with these thought experiments that are like, well, but I mean, if you actually was to, obviously under certain conditions, you would be able to see the wind, because it's made up of particles. You would actually see it. But it'd be, but whatever. Anyway, ranty rant. How you doing, Mr. Thrive and Survive? How's it going? Hey Jamie, I really enjoy your show. Don't let the bad guys get you down. The more you unite people, the more the good guys win. Encourage friendships and build bridges. Yeah, not everyone's going to get on as friends, but as long as they can get on just to unite for truth, because we can't force everyone to become pally with everyone, because that can just make it worse and kind of make things more tense, because you're trying to force people to come together. And I don't agree with that. But yeah, I do agree with what you're saying. Scouse Anarchist, how you doing? FPV Angel, how you going? How's it going? Levi Foster, how's it going? Charlotte, how's it going? I'll have to check out the magnetic FE 1.0 video. I've seen it in the recommended videos, but I'm gonna have to go and see that, because Sleeping Warrior, how are you doing? Let's go back to the bottom. Anyway, stick with KJV. That's the translation the elite prefer. Yeah, I've heard that's like a kind of not the one you really want to be going for, because apparently it's got some mistranslations in, but it was the one that Darren Nesbitt was kind of recommending mostly, because I think someone was asking him when they were at the I think it was the New Horizons St. Anne's lecture, when he was doing the presentation, and he was like, go for the King James Bible over any of the other ones. But I don't know. I've heard obviously things about people saying that it's a Masonic Bible. It's the one that, well, it might not have been obviously Masonic, but if it's got mistranslations, that they might be able to kind of exploit that and try and push that on people. That would be the ones that get pushed in the church and stuff. I don't agree with the whole church thing. Because I think I just see it as why people are just going to church every Sunday, just kind of reading the same stuff over and over again. I think people should just be able to do these things on their own time. Read the Bible if they want to. And I'm not saying that people shouldn't do it. At first, I was, when I was in Flat Earth, I was thinking, we should stay away from this completely, because it's just like mixing religion into the Flat Earth, and this is not what we want to do. But I don't see it as religion if you just, because there might be truths in it. If there's lies in it, then you've got to obviously don't just accept some of it and then accept the rest just because you accept some of it and then you feel like, oh, I've got to believe the rest of it now. You've got to still be skeptical because you don't know the intent of who written it. And even if you do, you still got to use your own discernment, your own critical thinking. That's important. And it, to me, obviously these, science books and stuff, they're not as, they're just as, religious, if not more religious than the scripture is, because they're preaching utter nonsense, about gravity and all this stuff and the size of planets, which they can't possibly know because of all the variables in their model. All the, obviously all the rotation, everything. How can they know exactly what the distance to these things are if it's a constant variable? Because when you come to Flat Earth, you realize that this whole model that's been presented is absolute preposterous. It's not in any way possible once you realize that we're not in a spinning ball. If you read the Bible, you realize that organized religion is pretty much condemned by it, right? Your sock account, you've created a sock account, Ranty. The hell? You're being a troll now, are you? Oh, hang on, that's your, I'll have to just copy that. Just bear with me. So what's that all about? The creating a Slack account thing. I've just done that. Got a community strike, so cannot live stream on there. Yeah, they seem to be doing these things to channels. That's too bad. On this channel, I've got. And I can post video because you'll be able to post videos, won't you? If you've got a community strike, won't you, on your main channel? You just can't do live stuff on there. Am I right? Yeah, it's 90 days. Yeah, so I've got to wait just over 2 months to stream on my main channel again, but it's just something you got to put with, innit? Yeah, Chris Hayes, how are you doing? People that make videos about others have too much time on their hands. Well, I suppose if there's something important to talk about, then, you know, it's got to be said, but I think people should come to their own conclusions, maybe. I suppose if you feel kind of frustrated and you want people to find out, then you just make a video about it. I understand that, but as long as people don't make a habit and just keep doing it, some people might do that just to kind of, it's just a way to kind of get views. For some people, I'm not saying anyone here is doing that. Anyway, Liars Underground channel, so you just kind of come, not say anything, just kind of, the hell, probably one of those Slack accounts. Let's have a look, shall we? Actually, it's Flat Earth Activism. It looks like a genuine channel. Later, Charlotte. Yeah, I just thought because it seemed like you was doing the spammy thing, but well, I don't know where A4 is. I'm pretty sure it was the guy who came on my channel once, but he was under a different name or something. It seemed like he was just coming on to take the piss, to be honest, but that's how it seemed. Where's Dan Tibbets? Which one's... he changed his name or something. Alright, cool. I'll link you then, Mass One. Alright. Yeah, anyone else that wants to come and join me, let me know. I haven't seen Billy Sunday for a while. I think he said he was kind of going off the scene for a little while, but I thought he'd still kind of pop in now and again, but... He said he's usually sometimes he's watching, but doesn't always come in chat though. He says he usually just comes to kind of say hi sometimes. So yeah, Flat Earth Underground channel, he's doing activism, that's cool. I think of doing something when I do the Heat and Park meetup. We can plan something to do there, because I hope the weather's pretty good, but who knows, might not be. But yeah, to let anyone know that doesn't know, I'm doing a meetup in Heat and Park, Manchester, so if anyone wants to come to that, then let me know. Make sure to maybe, just let me know if you can. Sleeping Warrior with Jamie, what are your views on whether or not the moon caused the eclipse? Was it the moon? Did it pass in front of the sun or behind? There is a lot of discussion about it at the moment. I'm not too sure about that. I mean, yeah, it's a difficult one, that, isn't it? Because some say that the moon weren't there, like on the day at all. It was just no one was able to see it. But some will say, well, yeah, it was in new moon phase, so it was kind of, you couldn't see it or whatever. But it's a difficult one. I didn't get to see any of the eclipse, but I mean, I saw videos of it and stuff. I mean, the way I'd sense it is it kind of looks like it's going in front, but like it just looks like there's some black body that's coming in front. Whether that's the moon or whether it's something else, I don't know.
Yo,
right?
Yo, it's Mass. What's up?
Yeah, doing too bad, thanks. How are you?
Hey, hanging in there. How are you, bro?
Yeah, not doing too bad.
Hey, does it show my name as MASSONE or MA5ONE?
I think let's have a look. Is it it's MASSONE.
Okay, cool. Well, anyway, that's on the screen. That's my tattoo. It says Mass One. It's the same tattoo. It's an ambergram. It says Mass One, and then when you look at it upside down, it says Steel City.
What's that? Steel City.
Well, Steel City is Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, in the U.S., and it was named Steel City. We have the Pittsburgh Steelers football team, and they made most of the steel here. We have the most steel mills in the U.S. here, and we made all the steel for like World War II and shit like that. So we got nicknamed the Steel City. I think we also have all the bridges in one city in the U.S. We have like 182 bridges in our city.
All right.
Yeah, I rep my city and my name in the same ambergram. But yeah, I don't know, man. People here, they love their cities where they're from and shit. So you'll see people with their area codes tatted on them, their city slang name. You know what I mean? Shit like that.
Yeah. Only one good thing that's come out of Pennsylvania is Philly cheese.
Man, come on.
Even that good at.
We got the Permane sandwich here, man. We have the NFL team with the most Super Bowls. So I don't know. Even though I know that shit's bread and circus, like I still get into it. I love my sports, man, because I grew up playing sports. So even though I know we live in a fucking false reality matrix, I still love my sports, man.
Yeah, because I'm from the UK. I mean, do you have like a distinct accent over there? Or is it just like a normal accent?
No, I have an accent called Pittsburghese. It's very noticeable, and different regions of the U.S. have
obviously
varied,
Southern, I can
many
tell
varied accents,
different.
many varied accents. Like my accent's Pittsburghese. Like I would say something like go downtown instead of downtown. It's just how I would say it. I wouldn't even think twice. I'd say, something like, let's see.
What are you cleaning up your accent for hangouts or something?
Yeah, I mean, we just have we actually, if you can Google Pittsburghese. It's Pittsburghese. There's like a Wikipedia page about it, our dialect and shit like that.
Oh, yes, it's like because you use like different choice of words and things.
Yeah, I mean, U.S. has many different accents, though. I mean, shit, Louisiana, some of them deep, hard accents, you won't know what the fuck they're saying. And then you got Boston, where they say, "I gotta park my car in the Harvard Yard," and then like they fucking the movie. What's that movie? It's funny as fuck. I can't remember, but it's Sandra Bullock and Melissa McCarthy and The Heat or some shit, and they're in Boston, and Sandra Bullock comes to the dinner table, and the family of a whole bunch of people in the family, they're all from Boston. They keep asking her, she's an FBI agent, and they keep saying, "Are you a knock? Are you a knock?" And she's like, "What? A knock? Are you a knock?" And she's like, "What do you mean? I'm speaking English to you here, right?" This is exactly how it goes in the movie. He's like, "I'm speaking English to you here. Are you a knock?" And she's like, oh, narc. It's fucking, so you know what I mean? We got many accents over here. I don't know how it is over in the UK. Do you guys have,
Yeah, we do have different accents in the UK. Yeah, I mean, there's quite a few. There's a London accent, which is like, "All right, mate."
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just be fucking around and I'd be just like, "Cheerio, hello, governor." That's all I know and shit like that. Like, I can't do an English accent for shit. I just say fucking around like, "Really? Are you serious?" I don't know. I mean, that's my best attempt at, and I'm a European descendant, so I mean, shit.
Where in Europe did you descend from?
Hungary. There's actually a city. There's actually a city in Hungary that has my exact last name. I'm not gonna say it though, but there's a city in Hungary that has my last name. So
someone's put in chat, Eric was first, then Math. I don't think Math would like you saying that.
Huh? What?
I came first. Because Math has this kind of ego thing where it's like, I brought it to you first.
Who? Me?
No, Math Powland.
Oh, yeah. Like, fuck that dude, man. He's a fucking weirdo.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really see how people can really take him too seriously. I mean,
like, I like this rapper called Vinny Paz, and I like this one line he says. He's like, "I can smell a rat as soon as I walk in the room." Like, that's me. Like, I have good characterization skills of other people. I can read people really well, and I can just tell Math is so full of himself and shit, man. It's not even funny. He's a complete narcissist, Joe. Like, yeah. I can just tell. I mean, analyzing him was nothing. It was a snap of the fingers.
Yeah, it's either that or he's putting it on because he's an actor. I mean,
dudes, yeah. And I mean, I brought it to you first. Like, actually, no, you didn't. And I mean, it's been out there forever. Even in the 1800s, it was just buried. We didn't know about it. You know what I mean? And it's been fucking 5,000 years before that. They thought the world was flat. So who really brought it first? You know what I mean? What? This chat is weird. What? Chris, are you mad at me, bro? Or are you talking about Math Powerland?
It seems because he's saying this cunt or something, and didn't he go off the other day? Like he kind of just went.
Yeah, he fucking hung up on me and was like, "Fuck you," and
Yeah, I thought
just
it
left.
was me as well or something, because we were kind of talking over the top of each other, if I remember.
Yeah, that's one of my problems, man. I'm not good at this shit. I'm no fucking Google Hangout pro. This is this is the only time I ever go on it. Is on Jamie, your channel. Like I don't go on any others. So I mean, I don't know. Like fucking put a red light and a green light and give give people their time to talk. I mean, if I'm stepping on toes, I'm sorry, man. I'm not trying to.
Oh, hang on. Chris sent me an email. I just sent it now. He wants to join.
Yeah, he can come up, man, and we can just talk about. I mean, he said he hates listening to me. So I mean, just talk to me like a man. Tell me what you feel, and I'll try to step back. And
Well, I think the first time you had a problem was when you was like, when you was drinking and you was like slurping, and it was like,
yeah,
and it was really loud.
Yeah.
But I don't want it to turn into drama or anything, so...
No, not at all. It won't. I mean, just tell me tell me my flaws if he thinks what my flaws are, and I'll try to respect them. And, I mean, you know what I mean? This is just how I am. I mean, I'm a rambling ass motherfucker. I mean, I don't know. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, Stan, I hear you, man.
Yeah, he's another one that's had his channel been kind of took down, isn't it? People been censored and stuff, isn't there?
Yeah, like Stan, he just said, keep talking, don't listen to him, spit the truth, yo. So, I mean, it's like, not everyone's gonna like everyone, you know what I mean?
Yeah, obviously.
It's just how it is.
Yeah, apparently IPS shut his channel down or something.
Well, that's fucked up.
Well, I think people aren't really listening to him anymore. I mean, his subscribers are declining, so...
Yeah, everybody kind of seen, what he was doing after a while. I mean, this is, I guess you could call what we're talking about technically is drama. So
it is really. So we should try and not.
Yeah, I mean,
get too caught up in it.
Yeah, really.
But obviously, when somebody shuts your channel down, then you can't just ignore that, can you? Really?
Nah, you can't. And that just shows what kind of person someone is when they do something like that.
Yeah, it proves they're fake, really.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about this rocket thing. I mean, is it going to go up? I mean, it's just been standing there for quite a while.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't buy into that. I didn't buy into it, and that's just my opinion. I mean, which everyone has their own opinion. And I mean, I wish Chris would come on, explain his case, and I would respect that. I respect that type of shit.
Yeah.
So anyway, what do you want to talk about?
There's all sorts we can talk about, isn't there?
Yeah, definitely. One big topic is what's going on in Houston.
Yeah, I've heard people saying that it's like a...
I've never seen a hurricane. I've never seen a hurricane. I mean, sit there for days on end.
Hang on, I think someone's saying, ask him if he thinks the moon passed in front of the sun or not.
Me or you? Me?
I think it's all about you, Sleeping Warrior.
Okay. I really don't know. I mean, it could have been, it couldn't have been. What I think it might have been, because I kind of believe in D. Marble, his point of view of it, and so I think it could have been the moon. I think they're roughly the same size, and what D. Marble is, his example, I believe in that.
Right. We were talking the other day about the experiment that they did. We were seeing like if the sun was visible in all these different locations.
No, I didn't see that.
Did you not see that one?
No. Oh yeah, yeah. Actually, I did. He was it the one where he was FaceTiming a guy in Australia, a guy in England.
Yeah, one in England. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I did actually. I did see that.
Locations, the sun was just coming up, and you couldn't couldn't quite see it because it was behind the hills. But if they weren't there, you would have been able to see it because of the obstruction in a way.
Yeah, I did see that and thought that was very interesting. That was very, very interesting.
Yeah, and the globe is like, oh well, what about if you tilt it? Well, it doesn't make any difference whatsoever. You're still going to only have 12 hours of sun. Actually, you would obviously in north you'd get like more. What am I on about? If what I'm saying that is in there because of the tilt, they're saying that it's you get different lengths of days and stuff, but that doesn't matter. You're still gonna...
he shined a light on the globe, or he shined a light on the globe and showed that I think the only part of Australia to be lit up was the far, far, far west coast only.
Yeah, that was right. Yeah, you're the only but the person that kind of took it was actually kind of like the kind of film that kind of was at the other side or whatever it were.
Yeah.
So yeah, it should have been impossible.
Exactly. It should have been. It should have been impossible.
Bulge, isn't it?
I mean, yeah. I mean, if you want to talk about oblate spheroids and pear-shaped some bulges, and you know what I mean. You can throw any straw man theory up at it. I mean, really, you can throw. Yeah. They can throw whatever they want at it. Really.
They would even say themselves it's not big enough of a difference to even notice it. So that's not even going to account for that.
Yeah. So I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, we have really good arguments. I think we have way more arguments than any globe believer has.
Yeah, and their arguments are all based on nonsense.
Yeah, complete fairy tales.
For the whole Earth by looking up in the sky. Like, oh, look, you can see the star rotation going the opposite way in the south versus the north. It's like...
what's that meme that goes around? It's like something about like show me your tits or something. I don't know. Someone in the chat might know. Tit pics or something. I don't know. But it's like, show me the fucking evidence, man. You know what I mean? Just show me the evidence. Shut all these people up. If it's not a fucking globe, or I mean, if it's not flat, just prove it to us, man.
Look, this guy's got hair on his face. That must mean he's got hair on his chest.
Put thousands and thousands of cameras up, man. You know that, and then people will do experiments, and pretty much it'd be like indisputable evidence. You know what I mean? Like,
all the money that's going into their back pockets. And they can't even do a full 360 pan round with the ISS, camera or whatever. And
yeah, man, I was watching some. I was watching some crazy documentary earlier about an ex-CIA agent. I don't know how this is possible, but he said something about everything they want is about getting more money for themselves. He was talking about all the billions the U.S. lends to other countries, all the billions of dollars for our defense fund. All that money would, like, everybody would be living so good, but they so who knows? I mean, it's crazy when you think about this shit. Like the money amount involved. Like, we could be living like, everyone could be living like a king in the world. Like when you drive through America, there's so much open space land. I mean, they just want to make people think we're overpopulated and shit like that.
Yeah, it's only getting overpopulated in the cities.
Yeah, but I mean, there's fucking millions of acres of land, dude, all throughout the U.S. It's like, I don't know, fucking fuck.
I know, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's like we're the only ones that see this shit, and like, I mean, like, you can't blame a lot of people because they're so preoccupied with life. Like, life is no joke, man. Like, when you gotta take care of kids, pay mad bills, work like a fucking slave like nonstop, make money like. And I always say 70% of the U.S. is living paycheck to paycheck. That means if they get fired in a month, they could be homeless. If they lose their job or something,
Yeah, I think
can't pay their.
people don't know how to get by without jobs and stuff. They don't know how to just live without the system.
Yeah, and it's like it's so, and they made it like that, and like you see these dudes and people going off grid, but I mean that takes a lot of effort to do that, to try to live off grid and shit. Like it takes a good amount of money and a lot of knowledge.
Yeah, that's the thing with it. But then again, if we were in a more kind of well, if the system were like this, then it'd be a lot easier because everyone would just be doing it. It wouldn't be something you would have to transition into, but because money wouldn't be an object anyway. So
yeah, I agree. I mean, I believe that's how we should be living. Everybody. I mean, and I know you say, wouldn't that put us steps backwards to like a caveman era? But I mean, no. In my opinion, it would bring us back to normalcy. We might see people living way longer than 100 years after a few generations of living like that. You know what I mean? You might see people living to 120, 130. Who knows? You might see all these crazy diseases and shit like disappear or go way down.
It could just be like straight away. People would just be kind of being able to cure all their illnesses and stuff just because they're using all the more natural kind of remedies and things. And
yeah, their immune system would be a beast. So I mean, that's surely the way they don't want us to live. How would they make money off of that? You know what I mean? What's their goal?
Exactly. That's why they would want us to live like that. All the corporations would die off.
The old quote: "He who holds the gold makes the roll." You know what I mean? So I mean, they lose all their slave money. They lose all their slaves. People would be growing their own foods. You know what I mean? Living how we're probably supposed to live.
Well, I mean, we probably wouldn't even need to grow a lot. You could just like pick it out of nature and just kind of, you just, because it would be there in abundance for everybody, just pick it up and eat it.
Yeah.
Because we wouldn't, need to have like our own patch. We'd just be able to kind of all share it.
And I mean, it's not like we'd be like living in fucking mud huts. You know what I mean? Like some of these like off-grid houses, man, are nice as fuck with finished wood and shit. Like,
you know
what I mean?
Sort of glamping sort of thing, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
people, it just depends what people want to do, really.
Yeah, like we have this image in our head, like, oh no, if everyone goes back to that, we're gonna instantly turn into hooga booga, grabbing our women by our hair and dragging them in. You know what I mean? But like, it's not,
Yeah, because I've seen these videos. Some people have got some pretty cool, places where they live, and it's like they're getting closer to nature, but they still have some of like the modern luxuries, but some don't have it. But it doesn't mean that it's like that they're going back to the caveman here. It just means that they're kind of some people just don't need it.
Exactly. It's not like they're gonna be fucking dancing around a fire pit and everyone eating a big ass fucking turkey leg, and you know what I mean. Like they're gonna have like a pretty decent, nice, modern kind of home with still a stove in it to cook your food and shit. You're still gonna have plates and silverware. You're not gonna be eating off the dirt ground with your hands. You're just gonna be living how we're supposed to be living.
Well, I saw this video. There was this guy that made this pretty big house, and it was making it with some people or something, and they were building it for homeless people. This off-grid home.
Yeah, man. There's videos of dudes turning dumpsters into homes for homeless people and shit, and these homeless people, they love it, man. They start crying like, oh my god, thank you. Like these dudes go all out and put a nice window in it, like a double pane window, and fucking, you know what I mean, nice wooden floor and a dumpster, dude. And these homeless people were happy as hell.
Some might say that it's not technically off grid, if you still if you have like electricity and stuff, and it's like I suppose if you're kind of generating your own electricity, electricity, then that's fine, isn't it? Because you.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, electricity that could heat your home. It could cook your food. It could do everything for you. I mean, you know what I mean?
But they're
Why
obviously using it against us. That's what they're doing. With, with TVs and things. With all the propaganda and all that.
Yep. And I mean, even if we went to that, like, say everybody went to that system and transitioned over, there'd be people still coming up with, like, doing, like, their TV shows or something, like, you know, people, like, how they would have plays and shit like that or whatever. Like, TV wouldn't be gone, you know what I mean?
I think it's more like people would just kind of, use it for entertainment, and people wouldn't be kind of too much kind of seen it as a corporation. People would just kind of broadcast themselves, like we do on YouTube. We broadcast ourselves. We're not, most people aren't, intending on making loads of money out of it. They're just kind of putting themselves up there.
Yeah, and then I mean, like, if you're bartering and growing your own vegetables and like fruits and foods and whatever and whatnot, and say one man's a vegan, one man's not. There's a butcher in town, and everything. The money's gone, but bartering's around. You know what I mean? And then you don't need money. You know what I mean?
Well, there was this guy that came on here before, someone called Edward, and he reckons that the whole kind of system needs to go completely.
Yeah.
Like that we need to just take our clothes off and just get into a jungle somewhere and just kind of eat fruit. That's what he says.
Well, I mean, I don't know about that, but
I think that's what would put a lot of people off, thinking like, well, that's the olden days and stuff, and that's going back to the caveman era and all that. But
yeah, but I mean, imagine if everyone in a country stopped going to work that day and didn't go to work for a month, and like say everyone was like, stock up for food for 3 months. Next month, nobody's going to work anywhere.
Someone's asking me in chat if I can pay me TV license. I'm not responsible for paying TV license, but I'm not really bothered about TV anyway. Most of the time, I'm just kind of like, whatever. It's just,
and like,
at the end of the day, it's
man,
just pixels on a screen, isn't it?
And I mean, I don't pay license for this, but trust me, the things we're talking about right now, there's people out there that do not want us talking about any of this shit.
Yeah, even people in the flat Earth are like still caught up in the system, and it's like, I mean, I am, of course, but we're just learning, and we're learning how to exit, but we need to do it sooner rather than later, really.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about it, when you think all the money that NASA has, and they really can't provide us definitive evidence and proof of where we live, and more people start catching on to this, I mean, I would see people fucking rioting, storming NASA. You know what I mean? What are they gonna do?
I'm not sure.
You know what I mean? What if that happened? Because they're getting what, $50 million a day, and they still can't provide whatever. They can't provide definitive evidence to us in 2017 with the technology we have. We're still looking at cartoons.
And people are like, oh yeah, this technology and stuff is so great and all that, but if they still can't provide proof of the globe, then that shows there's a problem with the model that's presented, not the technology, because the technology is perfectly adequate of detecting curvature if there were one, and all this other stuff, because if the ancients prove it then should be so freaking easy now.
Yeah, exactly my point. And they're not doing it. We're still watching cartoons, bro. Like, they supposedly have all these satellites and shit, and we're still watching, like, Flat Earth Asshole said, when you go into Google Earth. It's a nice cartoon ball at first, but then when you zoom in, it suddenly pixelates real quick, and then you see the real images. So it's just
start to see how bad it looks.
It's like snapshots from a plane, dude. It's ridiculous.
I know. It's like people don't actually analyze these things. They're just like, oh yeah, this must be true, but instead of actually looking at it and actually analyzing the image and seeing if it's actually holds up to objective reality and all that.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess ignorance is bliss. A lot of people are out of mind, or out of sight, out of mind, out of sight, out of mind, and keep it away. Like I got buddies who don't want to hear nothing about this shit, man. I try bringing it up, and they're like, "If you're gonna talk about that, you're leaving my house right now." Like we'll be playing NHL 17 on PS4, and I'll mention something, and he'll be like, "Nope, if we switch into this subject, you're leaving right now." And I'm like, "All right." So I know with certain friends what to say and what not to say, because there's a lot of my friends that don't want to even think about that. They like to go to their job for 12 hours a day, make their money, pay their bills, play their video games, chill on their days off, and relax.
Yeah, they're happy slaves.
Yeah, they're complacent, and they don't want to.
Yeah,
they
because they're so happy with their situation, but they don't realize there's something much better out there that could be had.
Yeah, they're just complacent. They don't care. They don't want to know anything that's going on in the world.
And I think more than anything, they're just scared of change.
So this is what I mean. Like there's got to be. My bad. I'm talking. I'm sorry. I'm talking over you. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just talking about that they're happy with the status quo, and they're just kind of.
Yep.
And they don't want to change that. But yeah, go on.
They're happy. They're happy with the status quo, and they just want to keep it that way. As long as nothing happens to them, they're cool. You know what I mean? They don't even want to hear about the flooding in Houston. They don't even want to hear about crazy talks and scare tactics about nukes. They don't want to hear about nothing with it. You know what I mean? Those are the type of people that there's no saving.
Yeah, they'll just everything. They'll just kind of bury their head in the sand.
Yeah, and I mean, these are my friends since I was in kindergarten. You know what I mean? And I'm 34. I got a lot of friends still that I was friends with since 5 years old. Some of them, you can sit and talk about this, drink some beer with them, and talk for hours. Some of them don't want to hear none of it. That's just how it is. And I mean, I respect that. If my friend just wants me to come over and play some Madden or whatever and hang out and whatever, I'll respect their beliefs and not try to force this shit on them, you know? Because when you have a friend that you knew pretty much your whole life, they're like a brother to you. You know everything about them. They know everything about you. I grew up with their mom. My mom was their mom was an extra mom to me. My mom was an extra mom to them. Like when my best friend's mom died, I held her casket. You know what I mean? Pallbearer. You know, that's the type of closeness we are. And I see Flatlander saying friends in quotes, but these are my friends. I mean, and like, okay, I should just say fuck you and throw our friendship away of 30 years because they don't hold the same beliefs as I do. I don't think I should throw that friendship away.
Exactly.
I mean, it's like, Jamie, you don't force flat Earth down anyone's throat, right?
No, it's the last thing you want to do, isn't it?
Exactly. I mean, so.
Yeah, because it's gonna just put them off even more if you try and throw it. I mean, you ram it down their throat. It's just.
You just gotta hope one day they'll see it, and maybe that one day they see it is when shit hits the fan and it's too late. You know what I mean, or whatever. You know. It's
just because like people get frustrated, don't they? That people just aren't waking up or whatever, and it's like, but we just got. I think the thing is, once you've woken up, you've got to then you've got to just try your best. But if you can't wake everyone else up, then just make it. You know, do somewhat positive to your life. Really, you know. That's what I'd say.
Yeah. Give them time, you know what I mean? Maybe just drop it here and there, little hints, and I mean, that's all you can do really to those type of people that aren't open-minded. Yeah, Chris Hayes, yeah, you're right, patience. But I mean, I do have some friends that if you mention it, they will just say, they will get really nasty. And I mean, I have like 5 close friends since we were kids, man. We're like brothers, so 2 of them you can talk about anything. 3 of them.
Yeah, you get these sort of dying woke people, as some call them, you know, because they'll believe in some conspiracies. Like they might believe in chemtrails, or they might believe in, you know, they might be anti-vaxxers or whatever, but they still trust NASA.
Yeah.
Because these are usually
It's the one, man. This is the one that's been so indoctrinated into everyone since they were so small. This is the one that, you know what I mean. This is the deceits of all deceits, man. Since you were a little kid, you were brainwashed, hardcore, with living on a globe, and that's why it's hard for a lot of people, and they'll just laugh at it because they're so brainwashed with it. It's not even funny.
yeah.
That's why. That's why there's a lot of people trolls that are globe huggers that come in and troll you and fuck with you, and because it's so brainwashed into them. Who knows if you ever strip it out?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Chris, you're right. As long as you can still live and respect each other, it's all good. Yep. Yeah, it's about respect, man.
Yeah, that's it.
Like,
respect. Yeah.
I mean, that's why I don't mean to step on people's toes and shit. Like the other Chris, I thought he was gonna come on, and I mean, I wanted to apologize to him, you know, because I wanna give people respect. I want to respect them, people that I interact with, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Charlie's put in chat, I would be happy to support Flat Earth, but so far the evidence for a globe is much, much stronger. Well, what's the evidence?
Yeah, Charlie.
I mean, Charlie keeps coming in chats and, spews, the supposed globe proof, but it's always the same regurgitated stuff.
I mean, the evidence for a globe for me would be thousands of cameras floating around up there. I mean, why not?
Well, simply just curvature was, if it was so easy, people could just go out and see things, falling away at the rate that they claim it does. I know you got all this atmospheric refraction and all this, the variables, but you should be able to kind of...
Buildings would be tilting backward, you know what I mean?
I mean, you could, well, to be honest with that, though, they'd say, well, the Earth's too big, and I could agree with that, because it would just be not noticeable. But if you had, say, like, a plane flying over, it would have to, obviously travel more distance, higher up, and you'd say, well, it's only a minute difference, but there should be some way of being able to kind of demonstrate it as a proof.
Charlie, there is no dip in the horizon. There's been countless pilots even come out and say that. Just go do your research. There's no dip. Countless pilots have came out. And, I mean, that's debunked immediately.
Well, yeah, Charlie's going on about the dip in the horizon is curvature. Well, I've seen these videos where they show that the horizon seems to have dipped slightly, but they're claiming that it happens at sea level as well. So how much more has it dipped at 35,000 feet than it has at 6 feet, say? Because if there isn't a massive amount of change between that, then it either means it's an atmospheric thing, or the Earth's a lot bigger than what they're saying.
Yeah, I mean, it would have to be, I don't know how many times bigger, but the globe would have to be a lot bigger.
Have you heard this thing that if the Earth were, if it was 6, I think if it's 6 times bigger, there'd be enough refraction to see the back of your head or something. Have you heard that somewhere?
No, I haven't.
But anyway, yeah, they just come out with such nonsense a lot of the time, don't they?
And I mean, also, when you think about it, I mean, video can be manipulated. That's what I mean. Like, if NASA put up thousands and thousands of cameras, I think that would be a lot different to me than just a couple cameras showing maybe a dip. I mean, you don't know what's manipulated, what people did, if the camera bounced up or down or something, I mean... Yeah, Teo, you're right. I mean, even if you sent up 1,000 cameras, I mean, I don't know what they could do then. I mean, really, fucking 1 million cameras. I mean, they can't even show the fucking 24-hour sun in Antarctica.
Some flat earthers say that there is 24-hour sun in Antarctica, because some of them believe it's rectangle and not a circle. I'm not sure if that's the case, but why is there these anomalies where they kind of cut the feed and because I think it was Jeranism, wasn't it, that kind of...
Jeranism communism went through the feed from Antarctica, he went through months and months and months and watched like every video, and they would cut it out like 8 hours or something of the 24 for every single video.
This would be me being really skeptical now. That could be a psyop to discredit the 24-hour sun in Antarctica.
That's what I mean. Like, there's so many anomalies, man.
I'm saying
like,
if it is, then they're making it look like, oh look, they can't get 24-hour sun in Antarctica, therefore it's it's a circle, but that might not be if they're doing that. It's like a sort of like a double conspiracy thing.
Yeah,
I know it sounds crazy, but who knows?
Yeah, that's a deep ass rabbit hole right there. But I see what you're saying. But I mean, even Jaron does the ISS feeds, and every 45 minutes they block it out. I mean, they've never let the ISS feeds, in quotation, go 24 hours nonstop. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, there's always a psyop, and I saw this thing. I forgot to kind of talk about it. I saw this post on Twitter. There was this guy, and it says flat Earth to psyop to discredit the 9/11 truth and the hollow Earth. I'm like, how does the hollow Earth even work on the ball model? It's like,
I don't know, man.
Wouldn't it crush?
It would still have to be a ball too.
It would have to have a core in the middle of it. It couldn't just be hollow
people that believe in the hollow Earth think that they think there's a sun in there.
Yeah, some of them think there's like a kind of. I mean, but there's people that are saying that it can work on the flat Earth. If you kind of think there might be something like the North Pole, then that could be like the hollow Earth, theory, whatever. Like Devin Maggi and all them, and Quasi-Luminous, all them people that are speculating about the North Pole, about it being like this hole that you can go down to get out of here.
Like a hole to get into the hollow Earth.
Like a vortex or something.
Yeah, they even say the North Pole is where Admiral Byrd seen the hole.
And some people are saying that the Antarctic's a diversion from the North Pole, because notice how Admiral Byrd was hush about the North Pole.
Yeah, I mean,
he was talking about all this, extra resources in the south and the land beyond the south, but they weren't actually talking about the north so much, were he? He was like, it's
just all these anomalies that don't make any sense. Like, I mean, Admiral Byrd said on, I believe it was CBS, he was like, there's a territory as big as North America, and the resources are great, and blah 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 blah. Like, and then there's all these treaties that no one will go there from all these countries. Like, you know what I mean? All these oil mongers, warmongers, all these, you know what I mean? Exploitive ass fucking corporations won't go down there. Like, you know what I mean? It just makes no sense. Why Admiral Byrd said there was a land as big as North America with so many resources, and you got these treaties. Like,
people believe it was a Freemason, but I'd say, well, why would he spill that unless it was a diversion?
Yeah, there's so many questions, man. Like, it's not cut and dry. It's not, we live on a globe, man, and that's it. It's just not. There's too many questions.
Yeah, because for all we know, it could be a booby trap, because they could all be waiting for us to come there. But with the North Pole, it'd be much more difficult for them to guard it, wouldn't it? If the south is the actual circumference and the middle's the kind of, I don't buy into that, but I'm just saying, if that was what it were, then the north would be a lot more difficult to guard.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because if everyone just kind of flooded into the north, there would be nothing they could do. Well, I suppose you couldn't really do it in the south as well, but I don't know.
It'd be more difficult.
I think with the north, like, people could just easily get out. With the Antarctic, it's kind of like, I mean, people believe there's a lot of ice like around it. I mean, I don't know if I buy into the whole ice wall being all the way around and all that, but it kind of makes sense if you believe it's a circle and the sun's circling.
Yeah, all I know is I don't believe a globe anymore, and until I see like definitive proof, there's no way I'm gonna believe in it.
Exactly. Well, there's this guy that I don't know if you've been on the panel with him before. I mean, is it Abel? You know that guy? Remember Freeman Abel, Ross?
Okay.
And he says he doesn't believe it's spinning, but he doesn't know about the shape. I mean, he says there's things that makes him think it's flat, but it's not sure.
I don't know.
Because I can understand that stance, because it's like we can only know what's in our local perspective, but beyond that, it's impossible to know.
Explain to me how a sniper makes a 2,000-mile shot.
Is it 2,000? Is it not 200?
I mean, 2-mile shot. I mean,
2 mile, yeah.
2 mile.
Yeah, it wouldn't even work.
I mean, that's a pretty good. That's a far distance to. You know, I mean, countless snipers, countless. Can't even count how many said they never adjusted for Coriolis effect.
Yeah, same with the railguns. 110 miles, at least 110 miles. Apparently, these can no guidance. They can accurately hit their targets, and there should be something like about 7,000 feet of curve. But they're like, oh, it's gravity pulling it round. Well, I thought gravity was supposed to be pulling things toward the Earth, not around it.
Yeah, a railgun. I mean,
they come out with these excuses, but they don't even know how. What
the railgun would end up 7,000 feet at the end of it. You know what I mean?
Well, I think at 100 miles, it's something like 6,666 feet, but apparently some of them can go even further. So it could potentially. I mean, I've heard. Yeah, so I'm sure Eternal Padawan said it was 200, but I don't think it's quite that far.
Yeah, I mean,
even 100, it's over a mile of supposed dip it's going over. I mean, the only way on the whole Earth it could hit its target if you put a hole through the frigging ground, through that, and then it hit it hit the target at the other side. But
I'm reading the comment. Yeah, Charlie said a balloon in 1935 showed a picture of a curve. Do you understand? It could have been manipulated.
Exactly.
One picture.
The technologies are like far beyond ours. I mean, we were talking, when I was at a meetup the other day, we were talking about how one of them brought up about how the technology that they're using is hundreds of years beyond ours.
Wait, say that again. Whose technology is hundreds?
Just as in the elite, what they're using, it's hundreds of years beyond ours.
Oh, I've heard stories of up to 50 or something, but I mean, who knows? Shit.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, I will, because it's not in our direct experience, any of this stuff, so...
Like, this is what I don't get. How is man supposedly around? They say men like us have been around for at least 30,000 years, but the same types of IQs and things. 30,000, okay? And we don't see this technology boom in the Industrial Revolution until the late 17th century.
Yeah, because it's because they were suppressing it so that they could just drip feed this technology out to people.
You know what I mean?
Because they can control it.
It doesn't make any sense.
Exactly. We're supposed to believe that there was this sort of dark period where they lost all the technologies that they had, and then they had the Renaissance or whatever, and then they started to kind of build things back up again. I'm like, give me a break.
Yeah, I mean, it makes no sense. I don't get it.
I mean, look at the ancient pyramids and all that stuff. I mean, that was really advanced stuff. We still can't recreate that today.
Yep, can't recreate the pyramids. None of that. I don't even think they can recreate Stonehenge. Did they say they could? I don't think they could. Did they say they could? Mike check 1212.
Well, so someone called Risley in chat saying, of course, we could replicate the pyramids with today's technology.
They say they can't. The experts say they can't. So, I mean, I don't know. They say they could not get them as precise as they are.
Yeah, it should be really easy to do, shouldn't it? I mean, they should be able to just do it as if just building a house. I mean, not that easy, of course, but you see all these mega structures that they're building and stuff. I mean, these 30, 40 mile long bridges that they're building, and it's like they still can't build.
Yeah, I mean, like Salted Cedar just said, they say they can't, but I mean, who knows if they're saying they can't, but who knows?
Yeah, that might be
like
a conspiracy thing.
They didn't there's so many coincidences, quote unquote, of people coming out with cars cars that can drive on water that disappear, a guy that can boil water with sound. Like, you know what I mean? Like, who the fuck knows what they have?
Yeah, they probably have all sorts of things.
They're
It's
just
probably
saying
quite
maybe
simple stuff, really. I mean,
maybe they're saying nah, we can't do that
yeah, it's
now.
probably all quite simple stuff, and they
But
have us all
they'll
like,
just fucking
kind of.
levitate that shit together. You know what I mean? Who knows?
Yeah,
It really,
it's probably all quite simple stuff because they probably get us bogged down in all the complications and everything. Yeah, but like because they probably have all. It doesn't mean it's not sophisticated though. I mean, simple just means that it cuts out all the nonsense that doesn't need to be there. It's like people are so materialistic and stuff, but I mean they probably are, but I mean not as. They're trying to get us to be more materialistic than what they are.
who the fuck is they? You
Yeah,
mean
that's
if
what
God is?
that's what they.
You
No,
mean if
who is
God was truly
they?
a single entity? It's not what he would say. It's a cannabis line. Who the?
Yeah, that's what they keep saying. Oh, who are we talking about? They. We mean as in like the elites, of course. I mean,
yeah, they. People call them
it's not
they.
just
Yeah.
one group of people. It's different groups of people working together in cahoots with each other, and they're pretty open about it. A lot of them, but it's like people just can't accept it.
Yeah. A Flatlander. Elaborate on the pyramids not being easy.
I think yeah. So he's saying Stonehenge easy, pyramids not.
Yeah, I wanted him to elaborate on how they're not.
Yeah, so Aeonaton put that fake henge, it was built in 1946. I've heard some about that. I've heard different theories about when the pyramids were built.
I'm waiting on the response about the pyramids.
Yeah, so Rizzler's put Stonehenge has been renovated many times, but if it's been renovated so many times, I mean, how much of the original Stonehenge is still intact? If they've had to keep doing repairs and stuff, it's like if you need to get a new part for your bike, eventually the bike's not going to be the same anymore.
In Easter Island, those huge things, they're shit, man. Those monolithic statues. Okay, Flatlander, he's talking like a caveman. Stonehenge easy, pyramid hard. I was waiting for like a paragraph and shit. Like, I'm just fucking with you.
So it's saying that it's this Rizzler guy saying they haven't replaced the fucking stones, they have repositioned them upright after they had fallen over time.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know much about Stonehenge or the pyramids.
No, I mean, me neither. Kind of like, if it's fake, then for what reason, I'm not too sure. But to me, renovate something, you usually kind of replace some parts of it. I don't know. That's what it kind of implies to me. Like when you renovate a house, you're going to kind of like change the like decorations and things and just kind of put fresh stuff
like
in place.
When you rearrange your living room and shit, you put the TV on the other side of the couch on the other side. Like, they rearrange them and shit.
That's not renovation though. It did say originally
renovation is just touching them up and cleaning them up and making them look nice.
Well, I suppose there is that. I mean, there's just different kind of like obviously different kind of levels to it, isn't there? I mean, sometimes renovation can be obviously like a full kind of restoration, can't it?
Yeah.
But like I said, there's different levels. So I mean, that's just me.
I'm pretty sure restoration is a synonym of renovation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but anyway, that's kind of beyond the point, isn't it? I mean, but who knows if they didn't just put fake stuff in place just to kind of for whatever reason, they could have just replaced.
Fee, fi, fo, fum. I put Stonehenge there, you bum.
Because we don't know what they were up to, because the area would have been kind of like no one would have been able to see the operation that were happening.
Yeah.
I'm sure I've seen pictures of them actually kind of replacing it. I'm not sure if they're real or not, but
man, how many? What's the dislike ratio?
15-9, so it's not the worst.
9 people dislike this shit, man.
I think it's just one or two people that are just kind of spamming the dislike bar, but I'm just like, whatever, I'm used to that, because it's pretty bad sometimes.
My bad. When are you allowed to make your shit a super chat?
I'm not doing super chat.
Oh, you could if you wanted to?
I mean, not right now. I mean, I would have to still kind of, even on my other channel, you have to get 1,000 subs.
Oh, okay, cool. Because I mean, I'd throw you. If you had a super chat, I'd throw you some money. You know what I mean? mean,
Well,
started off.
I'm not doing it for the money.
No, I mean, no, I know you're not. I mean, I'm just saying I would throw you a couple of bucks, you know what I mean? Some money just for all the shit you do, you be putting time in on these chats, bro. So, you know what I mean?
But I mean, some might say, well, we're supposed to be getting out of this, money system, and we're trying to kind of.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I know we are, but right now, fucking, you need money to fucking keep your lights on and shit, and keep your water flowing. Like my sewage bill's $100 a month. That's only fucking sewage. Then my water bill is $60. If I don't use a drop of water, I still gotta pay sewage $50 flat rate. Then it's something every 1,000 gallons. I forget how much. It's nuts. If I don't use one drop of water, I still gotta pay sewage $50 a month. Fucking crazy. You know what I mean? Like, people still gotta live and shit. You don't gotta ask for money. But if you get a super chat, I'd throw you some money. I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because there's people even with a few thousand that are like, no, I'm still not doing it because like Delhi's really kind of too much pride is like
say you don't say you all right, just do it and just never mention it. Just never mention it. Just do it. The money sign will be there and just never mention.
Yeah, because when you start mentioning that, you can support me here and all that, then it kind of makes you look desperate.
Just never mention it. And if someone wants to be like, oh, I learned some things.
The only problem that I kind of see with it is, well, one, obviously, you're supporting YouTube for a start. That's one of the problems with it because they get like 30% of it, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Which is going to Google Corporation at the end of the day. And of course, when somebody donates, they can divert the chat sometimes, can't they? Because their comment gets highlighted for a while.
I guess so.
So those are just some things to think about.
You're right. Yeah, they're shit. I mean, yeah, if they give you money, then it highlights what they're saying, and you know what I mean. Yeah, you're right in a way. I mean,
yeah.
Tao, put a thumb up. How do you say it? Put the pronunciation out on it. I'm gonna try. Tau Ceti Alpha.
Yeah, but yeah, that's just what I'm thinking about. Because I mean, it's like obviously it would be better than, because I was thinking about it a while ago, but I was like, it just kind of seems a bit of a desperate move.
Yeah, it's up to you, man. I mean, like,
because I said the same thing about the ads, and I used to be all right with it, but then I started to think, well, you're just supporting YouTube, aren't you? And that's the last thing you want to be doing. But then again, if you were to work for a corporation, you'd be supporting the government anyway.
Yeah.
People have been going on about this new Globebusters map, and I've seen the video in the recommended videos section, but I've not gone to see it yet. Have you seen it yet?
No, I haven't seen it yet. But about math, I think we had that discussion before. We don't really know, man. Like, I haven't been up that high. I haven't. I don't know. You never know.
Yeah, someone in chat said Tau Ceti Alpha saying, Jamie, you're kind of lucky living in UK. You have access to the second best museum dedicated to Egyptian antiques. Go see that one there. I mean, I don't know which one you're referring to.
Yeah, imagine all the shit they hide, man. Like the Smithsonian. Imagine all that shit.
I think the point before was about the Egyptians and all that the people think that they were all primitive back then, but it's anything but.
Yep. No, they had it down, man. I mean, sacrificing people and shit like that was kind of harsh, but...
Yeah, I mean, but then again, do we really know if that's actually true or not? All the stuff that supposedly went down? Because they probably want us to think that things were harsh back then, but it was probably anything but.
Yeah.
We were probably all living in luxury like kings and queens, and then suddenly...
You just gotta question everything, man.
Trolls are upset when flat earth people talk money. That's what Flatlander's saying.
I don't know. I mean, I guess. But people I watch and support, like Flat Earth Asshole, he has it. And
some reckon that he's just a scammer, like he's just trying to make money. Like, because what happened, when he was doing the tour, like the... when he was doing that, I threw him some money. I threw his PayPal. I threw him some money. I didn't even talk
to him. I didn't say shit. I mean, you have an option to write a message whenever you send
Yeah,
it
when
to
you
his
throw money in
PayPal.
super chat, yeah, you do, and that's the
I
thing. If
just,
somebody decides to throw a message at you, they might divert the chat, whether they're intending on doing or not.
yeah, like with PayPal,
Yeah,
no
that's
one
just
sees
more
it.
of a direct way
No
to
one,
just
yeah,
support
no
somebody.
one sees it. Yeah, no one sees it but him. I
And
found
only
some.
about 3% goes to PayPal, doesn't it? So it's probably a better way to support somebody.
Yeah,
So I don't see the problem in doing
I
that
sell
because
stuff on eBay. They don't take much.
it's even though it probably still is government operation or whatever, but it's probably
Yeah,
kind of
I have an eBay business debit card, and as soon as I sell something, the cash is right in my account, and I can immediately get the money out the ATM from my eBay PayPal business card. So you'll never believe some of the stories I got about finding stuff in secondhand shops and Goodwills, you know what I mean? And then reselling them on eBay, and some of the money you can make, man. And I know, yeah, we're supposed to get away from money, but you need money to live right now. That's just
yeah,
the way
right
it
now.
is.
But some people
Until,
don't because they can just move off
yeah,
grid. But that's only a very few, and even some of
yeah.
those that claim to be doing are still relying somewhat on the grid because some of them have a part-time job just to kind of so that they can pay for a few things.
Yeah, yep. I mean, they still have to filter their water and stuff, and buy things for that and other things, you know what I mean? So, I mean, until it all collapses,
Yeah, someone
we're
in
gonna be,
chat saying, Jamie, do you think Riley should pay up on his bet with Mark? Well, I thought first, that was like a bit stupid what he was doing, like when he was saying, I'll bet you £1,000 to, kind of, you get eclipses each month. But it wasn't, if there's no actual law to kind of say that he has to do it or out, it's because it would have had to, you would have had to have, signed or something and kind of, do something where you kind of declare that that you have to pay up if you lose the bet. So I just think he was a bit stupid for saying that.
yeah, I don't even know what was said, what the bet
It was
was.
to do with he was saying he'll bet Mark Taylor like a grand that if it like £1,000 if he found a video or something that said that you could get eclipses each month or something then win £1,000 off him or something and Mark Taylor was like yeah I'll bet you that you won't and then he tried to kind of worm his way out and try and kind of say well yeah you can kind of get eclipses each month and and it was like because of the definition and all that. I don't know.
Yeah, that's kind of a dumb bet. Yeah.
Yeah, to me it was a bit stupid because like it should just not have done that.
Yeah, Salted Cedar. I believe you. I know who these top elite motherfuckers worship. I know who they worship. So I mean.
But you could also see it the other way around as well. That if Mark Taylor was so sure that you couldn't get it, then he wouldn't have bet him in the first place because he would have just been like, "Look, there's no way you're going to win it, so there's no point. I'm just looking out for you because I don't want you to lose all that money." He could have done that, said that. No, you might say, "Well, he wouldn't have listened and he'd just gone with it." But I think if it had, been like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. If I've ever bet somebody and it was a serious bet and I lost, I paid. I mean, that's just how it goes. So that's just my opinion on the take.
But I'm just saying, if Mark was that sure in the first place that you wouldn't get eclipses every month, then he would have just told him not to bother betting because that's if he didn't want to see him lose the money.
Yeah.
So, like I said, there's always two ways of looking at everything.
Yeah, I mean, true.
But yeah, I do agree that it was stupid that what he did, to be honest.
So he actually took the bet and said, "Okay."
Well, I think if I remember, it was Anthony who was saying, "I'll bet you £1,000." I can't remember how it went exactly, and I started to realise that he was trying to worm his way out of paying. I was like, it just kind of makes him look bad, and
oh well, I mean, if you got
the flat Earth look bad because he's supposed to be.
if you got $1,000 like that, just to come out and say, blah blah blah, and you're cocky about it. Whatever, man. You made the bet, bro. Pay up,
Exactly.
and then leave it at that, and move on.
Yeah, as Chris says it's something we all want to forget. But I mean, the bowlers won't forget it though, will they? Because they'll not.
Oh, he flashed the cash on cam. Okay, well then,
Actually, if I remember that now. Actually, yeah.
Well, that sounds pretty serious to me.
Yeah, it does in a way. Because like, why would you even do that? I mean, you would have just said it, just kind of like, yeah, I'll, just as a kind of vigorous speech. But then kind of, it's like, well, I'm not, don't literally mean that. I'm gonna bet you that. But if he just,
you lost the bet. Pay up and move. Hey, you lost the bet. Pay up and move on.
Because if he could literally just have 1,000 there at his disposal, he could just pay him. And then I've met the guy. He's not without money.
You lost. Pay him up and move on.
It's not like he's without money anyway. Like I said, if he can just flash the cash like that.
Yeah, exactly. I'm looking at my stash right now. My bad.
Yeah, it was bad that thing that happened with Hillbilly. I was shocked about that. I don't know if you saw that happened. That we scammed a bunch of people.
Hillbilly did?
Yeah, he's not been around for a while, has he? Because apparently,
I can't believe he scammed
he
people.
lied about the situation with his wife or something, and how she needed money or something, and what he did is he just probably took his money so he could kind of pay it on weed and stuff, like not for the stuff he was claiming, because apparently.
Yeah, that's pretty messed up, man. Hillbilly, I mean, that's messed up, then, dude. People that come in and try to, like, befriend people and then gain their trust or something, it's like, you can't fucking trust anybody, man. It's like, it sucks.
Yeah, that's, just tell everyone.
Especially on the internet, you know what I mean? Like, I trust my best friend, you know what I mean? That I knew my whole life.
Well, they can pretend like that they're your best friend on here, but
30 years pretending to be my best friend. that'd be a pretty fucking long infiltration.
Yeah, the question is, why would somebody buy their time so long?
Yeah.
I mean, what kind of agenda would there have to be for
Exactly. Like, what the funny. Yeah, but Hillbilly, I'm surprised. He used to be on here with his raccoon. Seemed like a nice dude.
It seems so genuine, like.
Yeah, seemed like a nice dude, and I mean, see, that's what I mean. You never know.
I know he got pissed off at the trolls, but everyone does, But I mean, it just seems like a...
Man, Chris is pissed at me, dude. Chris F.E., he's furious with me, dude. Like, am I that bad? Like, do I sound like such an asshole or a bad person?
Yeah, it seems like he's got some kind of personal problem. I don't know what it is.
Do I annoy everyone in the chat? Am I annoying you guys?
You seem decent to me. I mean, I don't know what his problem is, but
yeah.
I don't know. I'll have to have a chat with him at some point, and kind of find out. Someone's saying about how 5G is dangerous. I don't know enough about it.
Shit, I know 4G is dangerous. And you live next to 4G and you're fucking getting cancer and shit. Thanks, Goldfish. Fuck. 5G. Damn right it's gonna be dangerous, man. Shit, they could nuke everyone with that shit. What are views on Mandela effect? Here's my story on Mandela effect. I hope I don't bore anybody. But when I found out, my jaw dropped and I fucking couldn't believe it. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna do some shit right now. I'm gonna call my friends up and I'm gonna ask them. I said, all right, when we were kids, you remember the book we used to read? There was these characters in this book. They were bears. They lived in trees. There's a window in the tree and they're bears. They got like spiky hair. There's a little girl, a little boy, a family, and every one of my friends said Berenstein Bears. And I was like, what? I was like, okay. And then I was like, well, they're not Berenstein Bears, bro. Now they're Berenstain.
My direct reality anyway, so I wouldn't really know about that one.
Huh?
It's not in my direct experience, that one, so I wouldn't actually know.
You're a little bit younger.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think you had them books a lot out when you were little.
True.
No, man, these aren't Trump these aren't mispronounced memories, man. And the name is not, no, it's not forgotten shitty memories, dude. And when I asked every one of my friends, even their parents and shit, they all said Berenstein. Even like my girl's grandma said Berenstein. And when we
Yeah,
came
so
out, and when we asked them the questions, we made sure not to mention the name. We described the books and the characters and what they lived and everything, and the family and stuff, and the kid, the girl with the bow in her hair, and we made sure not to mention the name of the bears. And everyone I asked said Berenstein. That can't be just a coincidence to me.
Yeah, the fact that all these people are remembering it that way, it's like that's just too much to be a coincidence, and I do appreciate that. So like Salted Cedar has put, it's 100% real, but there's a lot of BS intermingled. I mean, that could be because some of the stuff could be debunked, and that might be used to discredit the Mandela effect.
All I know is the Berenstein is the one I investigated the most and played the biggest role on me, because like when I was a little kid, I had a Teddy Ruxpin bear where you put tape in the back, press play.
And the millions of others who say.
I remember a lot of shit. I mean, these aren't shitty memories, like forgetful ass shit.
Maybe Stain is in their reality, these people. And that's the whole thing with the Mandela thing, is that some people it's not in their reality and some people it is. I remember theme songs of cartoons that I used to watch on Saturday morning when I was like 8. The beginning songs word for word. I know, you know what I mean? I have a good ass memory. I have the type of memory where when I get a new debit card and I read the numbers a few times, they're in my head and they don't go away, and I remember them all the time. So when I'm buying something online, I don't even need to open my wallet because I know all my numbers off by heart to type in, even the back 3-digit number, you know what I mean? Expiration date, that shit stays in my brain. I have a photographic type memory. I'm not trying to brag or nothing, but I do have a photographic type memory. So you mean you remember the
what?
You remember the landscapes and things like that, as opposed to kind of more like.
Trumpus, you're trolling, man. You're trolling right now. You're mad right now about me saying the Mandela effect about the Berenstein Bears is bullshit, okay?
You're saying that photographic memory is a myth? What?
I don't know if I have... all I'm saying is I have a really good memory, okay? I said I have a photographic memory. I don't... You know what I mean?
So what's the definition of photographic memory? Let's find out what the definition is. Because you need to know the definition.
I have a good memory
of it before you say it's a myth, because you have to, so what is photographic memory? Let's have a look. Photographic memory, the ability to remember information or visual images in great detail.
Yeah, I mean, I have really good memories, that stuck with me forever. I know Crossfire, the board game theme song from the commercials. It's all stuck in my head, dude. When I was 8 years old. Crossfire, who can count up the blood? Crossfire, Crossfire. I know all these bullshit ass old commercial theme song shit to toys, cartoons. I don't know why I remember them, but I do. Chemtrails are bullshit too. What? Whoa. The thumb down went to 22 to 20. So yeah, we definitely got bogeys, man.
Let's start a game of
fucking. We got bogeys up in here, bro.
Bogeys. Yeah, let's have a game, shall we?
Your pants gonna turn yellow.
Mandela is, I can't prove it and disprove it because a lot of it isn't in my direct. There's one with the Kit Kat, which I kind of what the hell? What was the dash?
Your pants gonna turn yellow when there's 9 Pikachu. Yeah, Goldfish is a beast, man. He's recognizing real. He's recognizing cloud seeding and new jet engine design.
So
Not
it doesn't believe
chemtrails.
it's chemtrails, but kind of like cloud seeding and
Okay,
stuff. I mean,
it's cloud seeding, but it's not trails of chemical. It's not.
but
It's
it's been
not.
proven that there's
It's not
chemicals in it, though.
trails. It's not trails of chemicals.
It's been
It's
proven there's
cloud
chemicals, though,
seeding.
isn't it?
I'm just no. I'm just going. I'm just
Yeah,
fucking with him right now. Like,
I know.
you know what I mean? No, it's fucking chemtrails, dude. I got a
Well,
video on my
usually just
channel.
flat, though, so
I got a video on my channel of my backyard with fucking tic-tac-toe lines in my backyard. Come on now.
I mean, I've not heard a lot of flat earthers deny chemtrails.
Yeah, I mean,
But yeah, I mean, it's clear like there's a lot of evidence that there is actually chemicals being mixed in with them.
I never seen clouds like that when I was
Because
a little
if
kid,
they
man.
didn't have chemicals in them, they would just
I mean, Harvard
dissipate.
came out. Harvard came out saying, yeah, like they had to finally admit like they were doing shit. And then there's declassified documents of when they actually were spraying St. Louis and shit.
Yeah, so it's
like,
saying the Petri dish test debunk chemtrails. So explain.
Yeah, Ireland. YouTube changed the whole format, the way it looks. It looks completely different now. I don't like it. I liked it the way before.
Someone was saying that they're doing it on purpose to try and get people off of YouTube or something, so they're not really looking into this stuff.
I could see that. I could definitely see that.
Yeah, because they've like literally changed the whole format. Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks. Every time YouTube changes its format, it gets worse and worse and
I mean,
worse.
at one time it used to be that you could actually like have a if I remember, I saw on these channels they had these like with the banners and stuff. It was like your whole page was customizable. If I remember.
Yeah, if you believe in chemtrails, why are you sitting on your ass? Like, what am I gonna do about it? There's a ton of people doing shit about it, and nothing has even happened.
Yeah, same with the 9/11 Truth movement. All these people that have walked up to it, same as the moon landings. All these people that walked up to it. What's happened? Seems
Well,
like
why are you sitting on your ass in the chat room? Why you just talking about it and not doing nothing? What the fuck? Half my friends don't believe in this shit. Half the people I know don't believe in it. Only people that believe in it are people that are pretty conscious of what's going on. You understand? It's like when you hold up a sign that says the earth is flat, motherfuckers are gonna laugh at you because they're indoctrinated. You hold up a sign saying, look up, there's fucking spraying chemicals, people are gonna fucking laugh at you because they're indoctrinated. So that's my answer to you.
Yeah, so I mean, this guy seems to be like, well, it's flat, but that's it.
Yeah, like how do you say it's blah 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 blah, but the earth is still flat?
Yeah, and how does he? It's like he believes it's flat, but why isn't he doing something about it?
I know.
So why are you
in the chat room right now typing, man? Instead of out there holding a sign up that says the earth is flat. You know what I mean? Doing the same fucking thing I'm doing. Exactly, Abdul. Like, you understand the table is way slid down in their direction compared to ours?
I mean, he does believe that there is clouds.
The table is so tipped, it's not even funny.
Yeah.
Of the mass deception we're facing, like Abdul said.
Yeah, at least he believes in the cloud seeding, but that's not just how far they'll go. I mean, they'll literally do whatever it takes to stay in control.
I mean, and don't you understand? This shit goes so deep that they're listening to us and everything you're even chatting about right now. They're listening to it. They're recording it. And if someone ever becomes powerful enough to start a movement and start getting massive amounts of people to do something, you know what happens to that leader. Without me even saying.
Exactly.
That's how they keep their control. The table is tilted mightily, my friends. Yep, Abdul should be on the panel. Abdul is spitting out straight coherent sentences is with facts. He should be on the panel.
You can go back to the old design. That's if you want to, anyway, and just found out how you do it.
I don't know how to go back to the old design.
If you go to your channel,
okay,
and you click on the icon, the avatar, it'll say restore old YouTube, and then what you can do is you can click one of the reasons why you want to go back, and then you can submit it or something.
Yeah.
So I'll put I don't like the new design. Let's just see.
That's a good look. That's a good look to let people know they can change it back.
And you can go back to it if you want to.
And then, all right, I want to change the subject a little bit, if you don't mind. It kind of falls in the same direction as Control. You mind if I spark it up?
Yeah, cool.
All right. Do you know how long they've been trying to strip Americans of their guns? The only thing that's protecting it is the Constitution of America and the Second Amendment, and how many people own guns. That's the only thing that is protecting them from taking our guns away. All right. One incident in the UK, a school shooting, took all their guns away. Same thing with Australia. One school shooting took all their guns away, changed everything. Okay, the school shootings they try to do here, you gotta look into them a little bit deeper and use your brain of what's going on and what they're trying to do. They've been trying to take our guns here in America for so long, and they're having a very hard time doing it because millions upon millions of people will die, and it will start a terrible war. So they kind of don't know how, you know what I mean, get the guns from us. They want as many people that can't defend themselves as possible. You understand?
Yeah.
But when they have that, the control is so much easier than it's in places where guns are legal. It's completely different. And then you have places like Chicago where the city of Chicago, where guns are not allowed. They're our murder capital. So the anti-gun rhetoric of the people that are against guns, their rhetoric makes absolutely no sense at all. Just like Flatlander said, what keeps us safe is our gun. And there's statistics out there that prove this and back it up to the T. Where there's guns, there's less crime, less murder. Where guns are legal.
So there's like twice as much murder in America because of guns and stuff, which is like probably just propaganda.
Yeah, but not per capita. If you go look at the numbers per capita, it's not. We're low. The FBI stats are out there that prove that. If you go by how many people there are, we're low on the chart. We're very low. Wish I could bring it up for people to see, but I'm on my phone and don't know how. But I mean, the proof is there. Look at Chicago, where guns are not allowed. There's more gun killings there than anywhere. So how does the rhetoric of the anti-gun establishment even hold water?
Like a spinning ball.
Exactly. How does a spinning ball hold water? I'd like to know.
Magic gravity force.
It's just like there's something. That's why I say there's something different with us. There's something different in our minds. There's something different part of our brain works differently because we can see through, and we question, and we don't we don't take words for people's words. We look into things. We I guess you can call it paranoia to an extent, but we don't buy the bullshit. It has something like that. Yeah, like it has. I believe Salted. You're right, because I don't hate other people. And I'm not jealous of other people. There's something weird. My brother and my sister, my sister especially, serious jealousy problem. So I don't know if that has to do with the mind or the heart, but I don't have that, and I never have. I don't know what it's like to feel jealous. I don't know.
Yeah, so you can't obviously comment on unless you've actually been through it yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what it's like to even have that feeling of envy or jealousy. I don't know what it's like to feel like that because I've never felt jealous of someone or something.
Maybe that means that you were never really that deep in the system.
I don't know. I have no clue.
Because that's one of the things that the Met people be is jealous, because there's a deep problem of, why people are jealous. Like then it's like a kind of like an insecurity problem and stuff, and
I think that
they're comparing themselves to other people.
That's why I think people that like have more love for people and how Salted said empathy and humbleness are the people that are more like us, you know?
Yeah, Flatlanders put jealousy as a wasted emotion.
Yeah, I guess so. Because I mean, I've never felt it. I don't know what it feels like. I mean, and I know a lot of people have murdered over jealousy, so it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, because you get these people that can't handle that someone else has something that that they can't get.
Yeah.
But then again, they might be able to get it, but they just kind of they'd rather not work to get it, and they'll just kind of be kind of
They would have to be, in my opinion, they have to be. There's something. The chemicals are off in their brain, or they're sociopathic in a way, or something. I don't know. I have no clue.
Well, many face kings put so vehicles are spraying chemtrails ? LOL.
See, we're in a complete different conversation than that. Everyone in the chat is talking about how we are as human and as our type of people, the humanity of us.
Yeah, it's just trying to divert.
Yeah, and he just came in to troll and take us off subject to that. But I mean, if you want to switch over to talk to that, he said there are vehicles. We're not saying there's vehicles.
I mean, yeah, it's like
I don't think does a plane qualify as a vehicle?
I think what he's saying is that so vehicles are spraying chemtrails. Lol. I think what he means is in like that, like any kind of cars or motorbikes. I think he's just being kind of.
Yeah, I mean, even a diesel truck that sprays the black smoke up in the air, after a few minutes it dissipates and disappears, and it doesn't linger there forever all day long.
Exactly.
So that's what we're talking about here. We're not talking about.
Yeah, we're talking about these persistent quote unquote contrails.
Yeah.
I mean, we'd say quote unquote because it's pretty obvious that they're not.
Ireland, yeah, he's getting demolished. Me and Jamie are just completely handling him. He has no offense or defense at all.
Yeah, because even Ireland, who doesn't believe in the flat Earth but believes in the concave Earth, he knows that this guy is probably just a disinfo. I'm not gonna say he is outright, but it's like, what's his point? Like, he believes it's flat, and I'm on board with what Ranty was saying, that anyone in flat Earth that doesn't believe in chemtrails is not to be trusted.
I mean,
I know that's kind of generalization, but to me, it's like if you've got as far as flat Earth.
I mean, it's hard to trust a lot of people. You know what I mean? It's hard to trust a lot of people. I mean, but if that is a good point, though. I mean, if you're a flat earther and you don't really believe in some other things that are blatant in our faces, I don't trust that at all. I wouldn't agree. I would not agree with that viewpoint or person.
Yeah, he talks about the petri dish being, proof of, no chemtrails, but he didn't really explain it. So there's been coming in trying to debunk what we're saying without
there's been multiple tests of air gathered after if you go look, there's like cesium, barium, aluminum in it. Like, people have tested.
Yeah, they've actually tested samples of snow or something, and they found all these ridiculous levels of it in it and stuff.
That's really natural. Let me tell you, bro. That nature did that. It was Mother Nature. It wasn't done for any type
acid rain or whatever.
It wasn't done for any type of reason at all.
It was
no human put it there. No human did it.
It was acid rain.
No quote unquote vehicle did it or sprayed it. It was just on the snow, and Mother Nature put it there.
Yeah, it was just acid rain or something. That's all it was.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, to me, there are gatekeepers out there on both sides.
Yeah,
Ireland, to divert people and
Ireland makes a good point. Ireland makes a good point. All these people that have checker patterns in their sky die are just complaining of sore throats for no reason at all. It's just a coincidence that they all have sore throats.
Boom! That guy's had his ass handled.
Yeah, I mean, where'd he go? He's punching his keyboard right now. Like, he's so bad. He's so mad right now. He wants to stab his keyboard so bad right now. Oh man, see, I don't know how to make.
People think that just because they say they're a flat earther, it means that we'll just like accept what they say. They couldn't be more wrong.
Yeah,
and I think the trolls are playing new tactics.
Flat earthers are skeptical about so much stuff. Like, flat earthers, they look into it till they pretty much are convinced one way or the other. You know, they don't just take face value of the first words that are given to them with a new study out today shows, you know what I mean? No.
Yeah, that's it. But then again, some of them do just watch videos and like, yeah, it's flat. But
yeah,
I mean, I've actually seen land masses that are like, when I was at the coast, I could see land masses many miles away, and I was like, that's proof we don't live on a globe right there. So when the globers want to come and attack that, they're like,
yeah. What happened with your other channel? Is this the same one?
It's got a copyright strike on it. I mean, I'll still put videos on it and stuff.
Oh yeah, you said someone was playing music, and then they claimed it.
I don't know what the last one was about because I don't know because there was no reason specified. It was just some troll that came to attack it.
Wow.
And I literally on one of the streams, I had like literally all these black accounts coming saying that they're gonna flag it.
Haters, man.
I mean, some people should have screen capped that. They could have sent it and tried to get these people off. But then again, what good would it do?
Nothing. They'll just change their name or their IP.
I know they
their
can't boot them off, can they?
No, not really. They can change their name, their screen name.
They shouldn't even allow you to have these multiple accounts where you can just troll chats. If you've been banned with one of your accounts, then they should have been banned.
I see that way
because it's all coming from the same user. If I ban somebody's account and they have these other accounts, those other accounts should be banned as well.
But what if they have a group of people doing it? Like
but still,
then that's when they start
that keep doing it. They have hundreds of accounts.
Yeah, but then you're gonna have to show your ID and have a PIN to log in, and it's gonna be super controlled.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like
it's a double-edged sword in a way.
Yeah, there's not really much we can do unless we just boycotted YouTube and try to figure out something.
Yeah, and it's crazy, man. Like my account was created 2007, so I've been on here for 10 years. And
so it's like you were almost on since the start, basically. Not long after it started, before it got really big.
Yeah, and you kind of grew up. 10 years is a decade, man. So I mean, YouTube was a big part of your life if you're living in that realm, and it's 10 years. You know what I mean? So
yeah, it'd be hard to support with that, I suppose, if you've been kind of you don't want to boycott it after that long, would you?
Yeah. So it's like, would you really want to have to change it up to where you have to pay for it and have a subscription and have to show your ID, this and that, personal login numbers, tracking everything you say and do? And I mean, I don't know. It's a double-edged sword in my opinion. I see your point, but I also see my point too. So
yeah, you just gotta kind of put up with it. Put all your eggs in one basket.
I just think there would be a rival site that would, but
there isn't really because it's controlled. That to me is proof in itself that it's controlled.
Yeah, there can't be a rival site because they won't allow it to happen ever.
Yeah, because if there was a rival site that weren't controlled, then it would be too dangerous for them.
Yep, and they'd shut it down immediately. So that's why it's like they know exactly how to fucking move the herd. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so they get us all flocking to this, one service. Yep. But yes, I do think that
then Google and all that is we're basically just talking on the NSA platform. Really, that's all we're doing is communicating.
Yeah, it is really.
And just for talking about what we're talking about, we're already on a red list, bro. I mean, and you know what I mean. So they want people putting kitty cats on YouTube and fails and pranks and shit and
Yeah.
whatever.
It's like they'll have all these videos with all these millions of views that are just complete rubbish.
Yep.
And they've got all this offensive stuff in it, all this crap in them, and they never get touched by you.
Dude, some of these Vivo songs, they have 1,500,000,000 views and shit. Like, it's crazy, man. Like,
And a lot of it's like vulgar content.
That's just how you know this is being so suppressed, or the views are they're just being lied about.
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah,
because of how many billions of people. There's pretty much almost 8 billion people in the world.
well, that's all they say. I mean, that could be.
I'm pretty sure a good 5 billion at least is watching YouTube.
I mean, how do we even know that? I mean, how do we even know it's not like 2 billion people in the world right now? I mean, it could be a lot less. I mean, do we really think that there's 7.6 billion people or whatever it is?
I mean, I would think so. With India,
I mean, that's what they
China,
tell us, but how do we know?
I mean, India and China's numbers. You're right, though. We're taking their word for it. You're absolutely right, dude. We're taking their word.
Most of China and India, where they claim they claim to be, the most populated countries, are probably in reality some of the least populated countries. I mean, most of it's just
for all we know. I mean, exactly, dude. For all we know, they're the one that does the census. You know what I mean? They're the one that counts the head of the cattle, aka us. The head of the sheep.
There's 300 odd million in America. I reckon it's more like 150 million or something. I don't know.
I mean, I know the census. Fucking, I dodged that shit. I fucking didn't send that shit in. Knock on wood. IRS will be fucking there with guns and shit tomorrow because I said that shit.
Yeah, so probably going to be finishing up soon. So
why? Because it got too extreme for you?
No, I'm going to be going over to Dell's, I think, soon. So, but yeah, I mean, it's been good. I mean, if there's anything you want to bring up before I shut down, then
no, man, it's been a good chat. Thanks everyone in the chat room. 99% of you guys, except for one dude, what his name is, but it's been fun. Everyone in the chat's been cool. Abdul, Ireland, shout out. Who else? A couple other people. I can't remember their names, but Cat's Eyes, she's everywhere. She's cool. But yeah, man, just shout out to everybody. It was a good chat, and we talked about a lot of different things.
Yeah, it's been good as usual,
Yeah, bro. So I'll talk to you later, man.
Yeah, and probably do it again around Saturday time. So let you know.
Cool. Yeah, when I'm around, definitely love hopping on. I mean, other people, whatever, have their opinions. Some people don't like me. It's just how it is, man. Everybody doesn't like everybody. Sorry it's like that, but much respect to everybody out there in the chat, to our Flat Earth brothers and sisters, and peace out.
Yeah, cheers. Yeah, cheers, everybody. I'll put the link to Beyond the Imaginary Curve if you want to go over there now. But if not, then do what you got to do, But yeah, peace, everybody. I'm going to wrap it up. And yeah, till next time, take it easy and just keep searching for truth and just try and be and don't let the small things get you down, So till next time, peace out.